Hi, this is Matt from Audio Plugin Deals. Today we have a double feature. First, we're looking at Cyclop from Bytes, and then we're looking at MiniBrute V from Arturia. Let's have a look at them. So like I said in the intro, I'm going to look at both of these simultaneously, and basically the reason for that is because they complement each other really well. So first up, Cyclop. And Cyclop's been around for a while, and it's probably most commonly used in dubstep or bass type of music. And that is on account of this wobble knob here. So it makes it really easy to set up basically a wobble bass. And if you're not sure what that is, you'll soon find out once I start using this synth. But I should emphasize it's not restricted just to wobble bass. You can basically create lots of different sounds in this. In fact, you can leave this wobble knob completely unassigned and just use a traditional envelope or LFO or any other modulation that you might be more familiar with. It does come with lots of presets. I haven't counted them, but there must be several hundred here. I currently have it on the Bytes category. Let's take it off. So now we have all of these ones down here. And I'm still scrolling. As I said, there must be a couple hundred there at least. But for this demonstration, I'm going to start with the init patch. This one I'm on init analog. And the reason for that is because you have different synthesis types here. So there's an init analog, an init saw, an init FM, etc. So let's start with analog, see where that goes, and then I might change it up to one of the other synthesis methods as the sound progresses. Let's move over to the right now because I only want one oscillator for the moment. So I'm going to choose serial. I'm going to turn the mix just down to oscillator 1, and then also on the filter, let's turn that down so it's only on filter 1. And just a few MIDI notes playing at the moment. So let's start tweaking this. Let's give it a bit of volume. And then we'll put this on maybe a bandpass for now. And then we'll go straight to our wobble knob. And let's turn this up. Let's change this to a sine. And let's go to our mod matrix down here. And then we'll choose wobble amount. And then we'll assign that to the filter. You'll notice that we have 3 columns, and they relate to the 3 dials above each parameter. So, for example, synth 1, again we have 3, and they relate to these 3 dials here. It's quite an easy to read mod matrix. So by turning this amount up, we are now modulating the cutoff of the bandpass filter. And you can see that by the flashing LED, and also by the fact we have the depth turned up here. Let's put it maybe on a low pass. Let's turn down the rate. Make this one also a sine. So now if we adjust the wobble knob, we can go through the rates quite quickly. Let's maybe choose a different synthesis type. Let's go saw regiment. You can turn up the number of voices like so. Or add a bit of a bit reduction in. We can look at transformer. Transformer, we can select a sample. So let's go with one of the vocal ones perhaps. Let's go with R. So that's sounding quite good. Kind of what we want, and you can hear when we adjust this dial, we increase the rate. So rather than do this manually, we can record that automation in. So if we go across to the right to our automation lane, and we have wobble to the left, let's change this rate down to 1/2, because the longest MIDI note we have is 1/2. And now if we click on play under the wobble knob, and press play on the transport, we can see that the wobble knob cycles through this automation. Let's draw in some automation. Let's make it peak around there. Bit more. And then for these early ones, let's change it to flat. Let's add some distortion now. Let's go over to the right and we'll choose one of the modes. Let's start with drive. Let's maybe go to phase stressor, which is one of my favorites. I just turned it down an octave just to bring out a bit more of that low end grit. Let's add some effects now. So let's go to our effects page. As you can hear, this is currently playing this forward, but if we click on play here, and then we can choose one of the other directions. So let's go reverse. Or let's go random. Right, so after playing around for a bit, I have this. So as you can hear, two things very quickly happen. One, you get carried away, and two, the sound suddenly starts to become quite mental. Let's play this back in context with a bit of a loop, just a bit of a dubstep loop. So that's sounding quite good, if you like that thing, of course. But let's park this for the moment and let's go over to MiniBrute. And MiniBrute, if you're not aware, is basically a recreation of their awesome hardware MiniBrute. And it sounds absolutely awesome. It's probably one of the most angriest, ballsiest, beefiest soft synths I've ever heard. So let's just solo this. I might go through quickly just some of the presets. Let's put this on bass. Abysmal horn we will start with. These aren't pre-selected, I'm just going to go through some of them at random. And honestly, straight off the bat, that one, very first one, just huge. And basically it's on account of this brute factor knob and this awesome Steiner Parker filter. Let's listen to this one in conjunction with that beat that we had earlier. Sorry about that. As you can hear, this resonance is unbelievably nasty, in a good way. So now we have that. Maybe let's see what happens when we bring them both in together. Like I said at the start, they work incredibly well together. Have some effects down here. Let's add some distortion. And once again, I'm getting carried away. But as you can hear, they both sound immense. MiniBrute is probably one of the best sounding plugins I've ever heard. It sounds absolutely awesome. And Cyclop is basically what Sugar Bytes do best. Looking at a synth in a completely different way to anyone else and coming up with this really awesome user interface and a really unique way to do a wobble bass, and it absolutely excels in that regard. So as usual, download the demos and see if they're for you, and if they are, then head over to Audio Plugin Deals and grab them while they're on special. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.